5 things you should never do when pitching on the profit. When pitching anything, there are always very clear do's and don'ts wherever and whenever you're pitching your product, or, just your business in general. Today, we're going to address pitching your product on the profit and 5 things you shouldn't do. Number 5, committing without a plan. What I have seen over and over again is a CEO or founder talking about projections without having a real plan. For example, an entrepreneur will claim they're going to hit a certain customer number, ship X new products, or do X new bookings in a certain period of time. Why does this bother me? Because it's a really difficult way to start a relationship. If any or all of those claims don't play out, I've got to wonder why the CEO was so confident it would happen. Your projections don't have to be exact. Odds are you'll build a model, and the only thing that is guaranteed is that it will be wrong. But before you announce near-term objectives, you should have a better idea of not just where you'll land, but how you plan to get there.
I find myself dissatisfied with who I am, dissatisfied with what I've accomplished, dissatisfied of the road. I laid on the sidewalk, dripping in sweat, and ended up checking myself into the hospital, obviously with my parents. I feel like I've made good progress. But in that moment in 1987, I ended up passing out on the side.
Number 4, lying or exaggerating financials. This is a crystal clear issue, but it happens more often than you might think. While that might be the case that the presenter just doesn't understand the nuances of financials, bookings versus revenue, annual contract value bookings versus total contract value bookings, net income versus cash flow, to name a few, it becomes a bigger issue if founders are knowingly providing false information. So I'll ask a lot of questions, because I want a clear understanding on what the numbers I'm seeing really mean, and to make sure we're on the same page. Your best tactic is to be upfront, straightforward, and clear. And if you don't know the answer, go find someone who does and figure it out. Number 3, forecasting unprecedented growth without supporting evidence. Say a company in the past has grown at 50 to 60% per year, but during the pitch meeting, they tell me that this year, they'll grow over 200% year over year. That's quite a jump. It's not entirely impossible, but it does raise some red flags and will need to be dug into accordingly. If you're going to make a claim like that, you'd better have some pretty solid proof points to convince me that's likely to happen. Otherwise, that's one tough claim to make. Number 2, stating you don't have any competitors. When someone tells me they're the only game in town, they are either really arrogant or very naive. All companies have competitors, and founders better know who they are. Entrepreneurs are competing with someone for wallet share, a product is displacing an existing product, there are overlapping components or prospects are trying to build it themselves. There's at least one other company whose market you're biting into in one way or another, and chances are, it's far more realistic to think that you do have competitors, just to be safe. Either the entrepreneur I'm asking truly believes there's no competition, or the individual is demonstrating a major blind spot. Neither of those things are good, because when the competition is on the warpath, that entrepreneur better know how to beat them, or they are going to get run over. Number 1, claiming there aren't gaps or blind spots on your management team. Don't be blind to the potential weaknesses of your organizational structural and capabilities of your people. Part of growing as a company often means upgrading your team. So if a potential investor asks how a team needs to change, a fair response might be, our sales leader has been good until now, but we'll need to upgrade in the next year to 18 months. This demonstrates that you can take the long view with regards to talent and prepare for the future. Well, that's 5 things that you should never do when pitching on the profit. Follow these steps and you'll be much more successful. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to see content like this, and drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below some of your advice, and have a good day.